What's up, everybody? You're back in here with the Pro Football Pod. You've got Hulk, you've got Coach, you've got Austin. We appreciate you guys sticking out for us today. Subscribe down below. We're giving away jerseys out here every time we hit 500 subscribers. Help us help you. We want to give back to the people. Atlanta Falcons. We're diving into the record prediction for you guys today, going through the season section by section, game by game, seeing how we think the Falcons season is going to work out for y'all this year. Pretty optimistic as far as, what I think the Falcons will do. I know Coach is. I know Austin is. So let's go ahead and dive into it here, boys. Looking at as far as what the Falcons were able to do this offseason, free agent wise, it's not like they really did too much in the factor of being able to add to their offense. Like, okay, Kirk Cousins is gone. You obviously upgraded last season with Michael Penix Jr. I loved how Michael Penix Jr. looked last year. Like, I just love the way the ball snaps out of his hands. It's awesome.
Yep, one of the prettiest balls you'll see.
They drafted Jalen Walker, the edge out of Georgia, and then traded back into the first to take James Pierce Jr., the edge out of Tennessee.
Bang.
I did not like the trade up, but I love the player, and I love that they noticed, hey, we need edge help. Let's just go get two of the best guys in this draft that do that. Xavier Watts at safety out of Notre Dame, and then Billy Bowman, safety / nickel corner out of Oklahoma, and Jack Nelson, offensive tackle out of Wisconsin there for him. They didn't have many picks to work with this year, but the picks that they did take, I loved them. Like, you took two positions, essentially, safety and edge pass rusher. But the four guys you got there, I think, are going to add immediate value to this team. And
some studs.
Let's see here. Yeah, and they re-signed AJ Terrell. So I wish they would have added another corner opposite of AJ Terrell to give him some more help out there. Offensively, like I said, they didn't really add too much. So what you had last year is pretty much what you're getting again this year.
Which is kind of okay.
It's not bad at all. Like Drake London, Darnell Mooney looked great last year. Russell Gage not Russell Gage. Where's my brain going?
Ray McLeod.
Yeah, Ray McLeod. That's where it was at. Ray McLeod looked really solid last year. Fantasy guys have been begging for Kyle Pitts to step up at some point and them just to give him the rock.
But Drake London
looked,
especially the last couple of games.
A week, bro.
Drake London looked like the second coming of Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Little brother.
Which I just wanted noted for the pod that Coach said he looked elite. So that means in retrospect, he thinks Mike Evans looked elite.
I think he is a different play style. I think he's a different play style than Mike Evans.
What?
Because he does have a little bit more route runningness savvy to him.
He does have a wider route tree.
Thank you.
Route tree.
Wild route tree.
Now, Bijan, top 3 running back in football right now. He's currently 23 years old. So they're going to be fine on offense. I'm so glad that they didn't grab anybody on offense in the draft because they did hit what their biggest weakness was their defense. Getting Michael Penix last year, we in the live stream thought that they were fucking crazy. We were wrong. That was smart as fuck because you got
Kirk especially Cousins, with what they were offered this year.
Yeah, you're still paying Kirk right now, which is crazy.
I loved the pick. I just hated that they got Kirk Cousins. Like, why get Kirk Cousins if you're even considering drafting a quarterback in the first round?
And you traded up for him, which meant that you were willing to do that in the first place.
So, that was my disagreement with it was love the player, hate the move.
Yep.
They must have felt like someone else was going to snag him in order to pull that move.
So, first 4 weeks, they've got Tampa Bay at Minnesota, at Carolina versus Washington at home. What do you guys got?
I've got them going 2-2. I got their wins being versus Carolina, and I've got their other win being versus Minnesota.
Okay. I did give Minnesota the victory, even with a J.J. McCarthy, just because of Kevin O'Connell. It's in Minnesota. I also think Brian Flores' defense added a couple of good pieces this year, and it was already getting to the point of being a little bit of a scary defense. So I have them winning one game versus Carolina.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Coach on that one.
Of course you are. You're not having JJ McCarthy lose on this podcast. What are you talking about here?
What?
17-0.
No, and that's why I gave the Falcons the win in week 2. I know it's in Minnesota. I know it's Monday Night Football, but regardless of Kevin O'Connell, regardless of Brian Flores' defense, like I can't sit here and tell you that JJ McCarthy's going to come in and look as solid as at least like Sam Darnold did last year. Like Sammy D had a great season last year. So like if JJ's hitting the ground running and he's looking anywhere close to that, then yeah, okay, most likely. But the way we sit right now, I can't put JJ McCarthy over Michael Penix in that game.
For me, it's not even JJ. It's like Drake London and Bijan and Darnell and Kyle Pitts versus Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson. With Aaron Jones, like whenever it comes to like pieces of an offense and the scheme, I think that the Falcons last year definitely took a step forward, but they've been pretty inconsistent offensively. Penix looked really good. I think that JJ, even if he just is exactly what he did in his championship winning season, I think that the Falcons, with their defensive additions, it's not quite enough. I think
that game is going to be a rematch of that national championship game with Penix versus McCarthy.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't think about that. That's sick.
So that and McCarthy took that. So that's another reason I gave the edge, is because I think Michael Penix is coming in with a little bone to pick there. Like, hey, buddy, you're just going to take the L week 2 here.
Now, for me, I hate whenever my team has a super late bye week, like week 14 or 13. I hate it even more whenever I have a week 5 bye week.
Like, that's the worst.
God,
like, we haven't even had time to like get guys to where we need to rest their injuries. Like, I want my bye week to be weeks 8, anywhere from week 8 to week 12.
Yep, that's perfect.
Like, so give me the bye week in the middle of the season.
Kind of sucks. But then they go to Buffalo for a primetime game. Then, I'm sorry, Buffalo's in Atlanta. Then they go to San Fran, play Miami in Atlanta, and then they go to New England.
Man, another tough schedule.
I have them
for this
losing
division
versus Buffalo. And honestly, it was one I went back and forth. I think it's a primetime game. I think that Buffalo is likely the better roster, especially with the defensive help that they added this offseason. But I'm going to give it to Buffalo. Other than that, I think they sweep. I think they beat San Fran. I think they beat Miami. I think they beat New England, sorry.
So I've got the Falcons going 2-2 in that stretch. I also have them losing to Buffalo, and I've got them losing to San Fran. I've got them winning versus Miami and New England. I think they beat Miami at home, 1:00 game on CBS. Middle of the season there. To me, I see the teams being fairly evenly matched, so give the edge to the home team in that instance. And then New England, like I said, I love what they did this offseason. I just need to see the pieces come together for it. So I think that they're able to take the victory in New England as well. Just looking at what they're working with on their offense versus what New England's working with on theirs, that's where I give the edge on that. So I've got them going 2-2. And then
Austin.
I don't see them getting a win in that stretch, if I'm being honest. I just have more respect for these other teams. Like,
oh, really?
Oh, you got them going 0-4 in that stretch.
Yeah, I mean, when those other videos come out, I will be saying like these teams will beat the Falcons. Like, the Falcons aren't that scary of a team.
It's not that I think they're that scary,
especially compared to these other teams. I do think that they can beat San Fran. I do think they can take one victory against San Fran. Okay. But that's the only one.
I almost gave them the victory versus San Fran on the road, Sunday Night Football. Like I said, those are just the type of games that Shanahan seems to drop over the last few seasons. But I gave the edge to San Fran on that one. I'm not going to have them losing multiple primetime games this year because I had Carolina beating them.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the next 4 for us, Coach?
Week 10, Indianapolis. Is that one of the overseas games? Is that what that
yeah, that's 9:30 a.m. NFL Network.
Yep.
There we go.
Then they play Carolina in Atlanta. They play New Orleans in New Orleans, and then they play the Jets in New York.
Now, there's something about waking up at like 8 o'clock in the morning and knowing that Bijan's going to be on my screen. Like that does get me going. So I do like that one. Just give me the dub for the
I've got
the
him
Falcons
going 4-0
against the
in that stretch.
4-0.
Yeah.
It's 4 teams that aren't going to make the playoffs, bottom of their divisions, bottom 2 at minimum in their divisions. None of those teams can compete with the offense that Atlanta's going to bring.
Yeah, I do like that stretch of games for them. They're going to need it.
And whenever it comes down to those overseas games, it literally does boil down to like who's just the better team.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like better team overall. Tickets as low as $594. Get out of here. Who is paying that much? I guess overseas people will, but like you're paying that much money to go watch the Falcons versus the Colts. Like, good on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carolina, New Orleans, the Jets, like, I just don't see any way like those teams, like Carolina, divisional game, okay. Same with the Saints. Like, I wouldn't be shocked to see them drop that, but my expectations are they go 4-0 in that stretch.
Yep, I like that.
So then they've got Seattle at home, and then they play Tampa Bay in Tampa, primetime game. Then they play Arizona in Arizona, the Rams at home, and New Orleans at home. I have them beating Seattle, losing to Tampa and Arizona. Arizona, I didn't want to necessarily give them the L, but I think playing that game in Arizona will be fighting for playoffs most likely at this point, as long as they're not too banged up. I do think Arizona turns their offense around, and they had a little bit of a better defense last year. They're not top 10 or anything, but their defense is capable of keeping them in games. And then winning the last 2 games of the season versus the Rams in New Orleans. The Rams is a hard one for me, honestly. I think at this point in the season, Matt Stafford's going to be banged up. He has been the last 3 years. He has been most of his career. He rarely finishes a whole season fully healthy.
Yep.
And a banged up Matt Stafford, it's going to equate to some losses, and I think this is one of the ones they lose, especially primetime.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I've got them 2-3 in that stretch, with their wins being I have them beating Arizona and I have them beating New Orleans. I have the Rams beating them at home Monday Night Football into the season. McVay versus Raheem Morris, who used to be his, DC over there in LA, and their offensive coordinator Zach Robinson was also over there with them. So it's kind of like the big brother type thing for him there. I'm not that high on Arizona this year. I just think they're a very middle of the road team. Like, they don't really show me anything that's just like, oh, they're terrifying. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think New Orleans, they're just going to struggle all year. So that's going to be an L. Arizona, but I think Seattle, Tampa Bay, and the Rams are going to get the best of them in that stretch. But I've got them finishing 10-7 for the year.
And I've got them 11-6. I think they're a playoff team. I think that they have a chance to go pretty deep in the playoffs too, at an 11-6 record in the NFC. That's going to be good enough to be 3rd, 4th seed probably.
Yeah.
I've got them going 4-1 on those last 5 games, losing only to maybe Tampa. I could see them being 5-0 in the last, if they get a good, roll going.
Mm-hmm.
What would that make it? I believe it's 9-7.
Yeah, because you had them go 0-4 in that one stretch.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
and then losing 3.
Hold on, let me look at this real quick. All right, yeah, that's it right there. So we all think that they're either a playoff team or right there on the cusp of being in the playoffs this year. Like I like the Falcons team. I think Falcons fans have a reason to look at some hope for the future here going forward, especially with Michael Penix Jr. Falcons fans, rise up. If you've still been here with us, down below, need you to hit that subscribe button. We're trying to give back to the people out here. Help us, help you. TulsiRoseTea.com is the sponsor. We really appreciate y'all's time. Peace out.
Peace up.
Peace out. Hey, town.